As a reminder, I am joined in the studio this morning by Kristy Vallee, who is, and is it okay if we announce it on the radio, who is now my business partner.
It's absolutely perfectly okay.
It's exciting. It's so exciting. So would you mind if we just kind of tell the story? Because I think listeners want to know, like inquiring minds want to know. So I do the radio show. I do a lot of other things in real estate, some coaching and consulting, things like that. And I am 54, which is not old enough to retire. I also have a significant other who does not live in Metro Atlanta. So I like to travel a good bit so I can be with her. And I'm sure you understand that. And I had said to your sister, who is, I'm going to call her the managing broker. I don't think that's her title, but that's what she does for the brokerage. Her name is Tina. And I said, hey, I'm going to be looking for somebody who can come in and help me from an operating standpoint. Somebody who can help me run the business, make sure it keeps moving and it's very, very consistent. And long story short, she says, and your father, by the way, who has sort of been a business partner of mine for years and years and years. We've worked together since 07 or 08. He's a fine real estate professional himself. Tina says, well, maybe Kristy would be interested. And so she connected the two of us, and we had discussions, and I don't know this is going to surprise people, but we had discussions for over a year.
Right.
Discussions, negotiations, working through things.
Yes. And
effective October the 1st, you and I are business partners. Effective January the 1st, we're changing the name of Vallee, the Vallee team.
Vallee
Is that what it was called? And Gaddis Group at RE/MAX Center. We're changing the name of the combined entity to Modern Traditions Realty Group.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Now, what does that mean? What does Modern Traditions mean? Share with our listeners.
So, like you said, we talked about this opportunity for over a year and a half. So we had lots of time to get to know our businesses and how we were moving forward. One thing that kept coming about was that we're both traditional, somewhat, because you came from a background in real estate. Mm-hmm. I have a background and family history in real estate.
Yep.
And so we knew that what we were creating had some element of tradition to it, but then we wanted to be modern and appeal to what the consumers need today.
So it's so interesting. So when I think of modern, I think of, this is going to sound terrible, but I think of interlopers and interceptors and people getting in the real estate business that are just trying to be modern, that are trying to be hip, but they don't really do what your average consumer needs to have done. And what your average seller of real estate and your average buyer of real estate, in my opinion, what they need is somebody to give them good, solid advice.
Exactly.
It's way more important if you were working with me as a buyer for me to be able to say, hey, Kristy, and your husband's name is Chris, there's some things I think you need to be aware of about this home that might affect your ability to sell it. Let me make sure you know what those are. To me, that is so important. So we wanted to make sure that we had something that was an outward-facing example of the fact that we believe in the traditions of real estate service, about putting a consumer's needs above our needs, about putting a consumer's needs above a commission, about doing what's right even when we make mistakes, because we're human, so we still make mistakes, but we need to fix it. But we also want to bring that modern flair. So what does that modern flair mean to you when it comes to our real estate team?
I think it means staying up to date with what the trends are, in the market, also staying up to date with what is happening in the market, because yesterday's market is not today's market. So that's another version of modern.
And that has way more truth now after the last 6 months than it even did before, because the market has changed so much, so fast.